How to handle haters. Hi guys, thanks for showing up today. My name is Kathleen if you don't know me, and if you do, then thanks for coming back. Today I want to talk about how I handle haters, and if this is something that resonates with you or that you want to put into practice too if you're experiencing this, then by all means go for it. And if it doesn't resonate, then totally fine. So this is something that I decided I would start doing once I started a YouTube channel a few years ago. After my first couple videos, I didn't have tons of viewers or subscribers or anything, but it's just something that I decided I would do if ever I received negative comments that were really just people who I didn't know that would show up and say something to be insulting, or whether it's trolls or just spewing any type of hate or negativity. And what I did was I kind of imagined if I were a shop owner. So if I owned a shop and I was offering things to the public in this shop, if people showed up and what they would do is they'd show up to the counter and start insulting me or spewing out their hate at me, I would kindly ask them to leave. I don't want to serve people who are just going to be spewing hate at me. And so similarly, that's what I decided to do with anyone who'd come at me with these negative, hateful comments. I would just block and delete their comments. So I would delete their comments on YouTube and block them. And it was my way of deciding how I will accept to be treated. So I accept to be treated with respect. And I'm really lucky that probably over 90% of the comments that I receive are really sweet, and I'm really lucky to have most of you guys here. Well, really all of you. Like, I'm lucky to have everyone who is watching this content and who is leaving really nice comments to me. But there is that really small percentage that sometimes will show up and they might be having a bad day to begin with, and then they might click on one of my videos knowing that it's a topic that's not going to resonate with them, just because they want to like fuel their misery and then spew out whatever hate they've been building up within themselves, and they're spewing it out on me. And I recognize that it actually doesn't have anything to do with me, so I don't take it personally when someone does spew out a hateful or mean comment. I just see that they're going through their own stuff, but I don't want to be the receiver of that energy, so I simply delete the comment and block them. And whenever someone's blocked on YouTube, they're still able to watch your videos, so if they want to come back and if they're wanting to gain something from any of my content, because what I'm doing here is just creating based off of who I am, so I'm just being myself and offering things to people with the intention of helping in any way. And so if my content isn't content that helps you, then please just leave. Like, don't watch my videos if you don't like them, you know? So if they're choosing to leave hateful comments, I'll block them so that they can't leave other comments. So if someone's blocked, they can still watch your videos, they can still even give it a thumbs down, so I'm sure some of them come back and thumbs down stuff, and that's fine, but they can't comment anymore, which is really what I'm wanting. Is I'm wanting to, whenever I open my notifications on YouTube, to see positive comments. It's just like if I weren't on YouTube and I had my friends and family and I had social media and I had these notifications of people leaving me messages from friends or family or commenting, I wouldn't keep someone around in my life if whenever I opened up my app or my phone, I just saw this hateful message and it was just all these hateful or negative messages. That's not what I accept in my life. I don't want people around who are just going to be haters or trolls. So in that sense, I probably would just delete them as well. And the difference with YouTube is that I've chosen to open myself up to anyone in the public who wants to be there, but I still have those standards of how I accept to be treated and don't accept to be treated. And anyone who's showing up is just like someone. Like, if I were in person and talking and someone came just to bash me, or even if I was like a comedian, a stand-up comedian, and someone was just heckling me the whole time, they would get escorted out of the building. Like, there's certain things that just aren't acceptable or accepted in real life, And that translates to me to the online world. Like, just because I can't see your face doesn't mean that you're allowed to just spew out hatred. Like, I'm still just not going to accept that. So it's not done in a way where I take on any of that emotion that they're giving me. So there's a great story that I like of the Buddha and how he took on people. Like, if people would show up to him with hatred, he was like, you're coming to me with a gift. This gift is your hatred, and I'm choosing not to accept it. Like, no thank you, thanks but no thanks. Like, I don't want this present that you're trying to give me. And so he wouldn't play into that energy that they were offering up. He would just like, nah, like, it's not, I'm not going to take that in or let it affect me or take it personally. I'm seeing that it's your own stuff. I might be bringing that up for you or reflecting it back to you in some way, but it's actually not mine, and I don't want to receive it. So be on your way, sort of thing. And I'm not going to be playing into this drama that you're choosing to create, or getting into any type of an argument or anything. So in that sense, I do, like, if people leave constructive criticism or a suggestion, or if I made a mistake in a video, if it's a video where I am talking about something and I'm using like numbers to describe something and I use the wrong number or something, and someone wants to leave a message like, hey, actually, like, the right number is this, then of course I'm gonna keep that. And like, any type of suggestion that you guys have, I usually keep. So it's anything, like, I'm still not, I'm not like, oh, anyone who doesn't agree with me 100% just gets blocked and deleted. That's not what I do. Like, it is still important to recognize and understand that we all do make mistakes sometimes, or that other people may see things in a way that can actually be really helpful, in the sense of a constructive criticism that will help you alter things in a way that can actually be really beneficial to everyone. But what I'm talking about is more like if someone shows up and it's just hateful criticism. So I once had a comment where someone was like, the first 18 minutes of this video was all fantastical and escapism and egotistical, and like, that's literally what the comment was. And I watched it and I was like, wow, like, this person chose to, for 18 minutes, be in a state of judgment and misery and just feed into her own type of drama and then criticize me for it. And I was thinking, like, her comment to me doesn't resonate. Like, I don't feel that that's what those 18 minutes were, and it's completely okay if that was her interpretation. But at the same time, I'm thinking, like, you could take those 18 minutes, instead of being miserable and leaving a rude comment, she could have gone and just meditated for those 18 minutes. So that's something too, that like, if you're in a state where you're just being miserable, instead of spewing it out onto others, observe your feelings and then let them pass, or do something like meditating, something that is going to help you actually feel better, as opposed to, it's almost like when we feel so shitty inside, we want to expel it onto others, blame others, but we really just want to release those feelings so that we don't have to feel them anymore. And we think that if we release them onto others, then they can feel that way, and then it justifies ourselves, and then it does allow us to feel like, okay, like, it was that person's fault, now they can feel shitty and I can feel better. And it's like, no, like, I'm just out here living my life, like, I'm on a screen for you guys, like, I'm not even in your physical reality. Like, if you don't like it, then literally click the X button. You can give it a thumbs down if that like gives you some sort of a feeling of power, I suppose, but there's nothing like I'm not here to make anyone feel bad or to ruin anyone's life. Like, if you don't resonate, or you don't like it, or you're judging something, then please just click away and do something that's actually going to put you in a better state of mind and in better feelings. So yeah, it's like, just with anything in life, if there's a person in your life who is a friend, but they're always just criticizing you or making you feel bad about yourself, like, that's someone who I would probably just like exit and choose to spend time with other friends. So it's the same with the law of attraction. If we focus on that negative energy or anything that's not feeling good, that's all we're allowing to be manifested into our lives. Whereas when there's stuff that we're not liking, or we're not feeling like we're being treated with respect or dignity, then it's a matter of letting go of whatever that may be and focusing on the people who are helping us to feel like they are treating us with respect and dignity. So there are tons of you guys on my channel specifically who leave really beautiful, loving messages, and I really appreciate those, and I take as much time as I can to be responding to all of your comments and really appreciating that you guys are taking the time just to leave those comments and leave those reflections, and I really appreciate that. So it's really important to appreciate the good that's coming in as a reflection to you, and then even seeing sometimes the negative comments can even be a manifestation of our own judgment towards ourselves. So if we are feeling insecure or judging something about ourselves, that could actually be when more negative comments or negative reflections from others come back to us, because it's just reflecting how we're already feeling. So if ever I am receiving negative comments in that sense too, I will also just sit with myself and really shift my own thoughts and feelings, and make sure that my internal world is also nurturing me, and that I'm seeing myself from eyes of love. Like source is love, and that's what we should be in a state of, to feel that happiness, that unconditional love. And I feel like that's a lot of our intentions here, especially if you're on my channel and watching my videos. That really is an intention, is to be in that state of love. And if ever that isn't coming through in one of my videos and you're seeing that, like it's totally fine. Like you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, and you're allowed to have your own perception of things, and they could be very valid. But I suppose what I'm saying is, if I receive hateful comments, I don't always block the people too. Sometimes I'll just delete the comments and shift my own thoughts and feelings, really focus on the positive, loving feedback, and give myself that positive, loving feedback. And then by not blocking someone, it also gives them the chance to come back and just kind of, I don't know, if someone was just in a bad mood, then things can shift. It's simply, I just don't like taking part in any drama. Like if someone's coming at me with a very strong, harsh, negative energy, I don't really want to dive into that world that they're creating. And I don't really want to be part of that energy either. So that's my choice in simply deleting the comment, because what I found too is, if at times I haven't deleted a comment, then some of you guys will sometimes come in and defend me, which is really sweet, but it also means that you're diving into that negative energy and then having some form of like an argument or discussion that may not really be productive. It's more just like, this person may have shown up with, it's almost like a cry for love sometimes if they show up with an insult or something that's coming from a space of pain. It's like how hurt people hurt people. So usually if someone is leaving a negative comment, they're in a space where they are feeling hurt. But it's just a matter of me choosing not to get into that energy. So there may be other ways of handling it, and I may shift how I handle it in the future, but this is how I've chosen to handle it for now. And yeah, I guess stay tuned. Whatever feels best for you guys too, you're free to do that as well. I feel like the main point here is setting up boundaries and standards for how you're going to allow yourself to be treated, and then putting those boundaries in place and doing that in whatever way works best for you guys. And understanding that it's always okay to receive some constructive criticism just to help us out along the way, but really deciphering the energy that someone's coming at you with, and if it's a really harsh, hurtful, mean energy, you don't have to sit there and take it. Like, you're a free being, and you can choose the types of energy that you're willing to accept in your life. And if you want to be in a state of love and harmony and light, choose to focus on the love and harmony and light that's within you. And you can always send love to the people who are leaving hateful comments, but you still can, it's almost like a timeout. Like, if this was like a toddler or something who was like hitting you and like throwing a tantrum and bashing you and stuff, like, you understand that it's not fully your fault why that person is doing that, but you still may just like give them a timeout so they can calm themselves down, and you're not going to, like, what's that word, like, ruminate. Like, you're not going to play over what they said, like, oh, they said this, and then like take it on as part of yourself. It's like, no, like, they had whatever feeling was coming through, it came through, and maybe part of me agrees with that, and that's why that even showed up. Or maybe I really don't, and now it's time for me to get stronger in my own self-worth and give myself a little bit more love and reassurance and keep moving forward in life and being strong in who I am. So I hope this helps you guys. If any of you are dealing with haters, or even just to understand what I do with them, if you tend to wonder how I handle it, that's what I'm doing right now. And it may shift as time comes, but for now, this is what I'm doing, and I feel like it's helping me stay in a state of love and really appreciating and giving more time and energy to the comments and people who really are showing positive reflections and who are sending messages of love, because I always really do appreciate those, and I appreciate you guys spending your time here and connecting in that way. So thank you so much for being here, and may you be happy, healthy, and free. Bye.